So Sunny V knows how to make these titles just so intriguing. Cocomelon, the most evil channel on YouTube, the most evil. Now, when we reacted to the SpongeBob series, like breaking down the SpongeBob conspiracies, I already knew. Right? But even then, right, I was already diving into, the unraveling of the truth when it came to these, childhood shows and these, little sitcoms and shit that we see on Disney, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network and stuff. Cocomelon. I wasn't a big Cocomelon watcher, and I'm glad I wasn't. Cause that shit is for some these. Okay? But let's go, Sonny. Let's see what you're talking about, man.
My son is almost 2
break down the
and I've been
Carfax.
letting him watch Cocomelon, but
Okay.
now I had to get him speech therapy so I can get
Whoa.
him to talk. There are hundreds and hundreds of anecdotes in which parents mention the exact same problem. The Cocomelon show is so insanely addictive, it's being compared to nicotine and causing developmental issues amongst the kids who can't stop watching.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I mean, let's just nip this in the bud here. Let's just nip this in the bud. Since we are in the 21st century, okay, we must know that we are in times where people need to retract from being on social media. Why? Because social media is a drug. Fiending for that attention, that validation, and also even that judgment, because some losers literally like to get judged by other people. So us being in that space, in that time frame, we have to know how to retract. Now, check this out. It gets to a point where you have to view it like actual drugs. Gambling, sex, alcohol, weed, cocaine, right? Meth, Percocets, goddamn syphilis, fucking cough syrup, whatever, lean, all that. You have to use it in that same. Why is there no, for the most part, there is no cap on when children can get on social media? For instance, my brother, he is now 10, about to be 11, in the 5th grade. He was on social media when he was like 5, 6, TikTok, because nobody was home. Nobody was really monitoring that. And I'm not coming at my parents, but they can do so much when you're working and, upholding the household with the lights and the rent, and, So, yeah, he was like 5, 6, right? And he's on it, like, he's on his phone watching TV, watching movies, while he's on his phone, on the iPad, playing the game, got on the side, swiping and shit. Like, man, that is so much induced in your brain. But guess what we do as brothers, as parents, as grandparents, as guardians, as teachers, as instructors? We open that fucking cabinet to kids early. But there is an age gap to, well, not an age gap, but an age threshold, right? Being quote unquote legal for weed, quote unquote, right? Alcohol, cigarettes, and whatnot. But when you get a hold of it at an early age, that's anything. That's any show. That's SpongeBob, Cocomelon, Wild Wild Wubsy, Bubble Guppies, goddamn Blues Clues, like. But let's see where you're going with this, though. I just wanted to put that out there in the beginning, so we're on the same page here.
Children's TV expert Jerica Sands
Oh,
calls it
hell
the
no.
most damaging show a child can watch, explaining the sneaky ways in which they make the show addictive. Firstly, there's the colors. Take for example the wheels on the bus. The three main colors, blue, green, and yellow, are all at maximum saturation, meaning they cannot be made any brighter, no matter how hard you try. Extreme saturation is normally used for alerts and notifications, as it's exciting, dynamic, and attracts attention, which is why it's also used in slot machines.
This is Frozone saying this. Frozone with the utmost cold knowledge. With the utmost cold knowledge. This is Frozone saying this. Look.
Cocomelon puts these colors in perfect contrast, making them appear even more vibrant, which is different to, for example, Bluey, in which the colors instead blend together.
Yeah.
Cocomelon's also different because it's highly
Yo,
competitive.
Duran,
There's
what
a
up,
reason
bro?
They have 38.
Hey! Duran. You need to think of a command, my brother, because you gifted 10 subs to the fam during September. So you get your own custom command. Okay? So think of that while you're trying to cook up a new build.
Videos with over 1 billion views. A child's brain is wired to learn through repetition.
What's up with you though, man?
So it feels right to them to watch the same thing over and over again.
Yeah,
Cocomelon abuses this in almost every video. For example, in the Yes Yes Playground song, they pick a word to repeat 3 times in every sentence, pairing it with a subtly repeating background lullaby, keeping children hooked. Literally no show or movie puts my son into a deep trance the way Cocomelon does. The second
But what are their ages though? Like their ages, like
it's on the TV, he turns into a toddler zombie who doesn't see or hear anything else that's going on in the room. This is only exacerbated by Cocomelon's subtitles, which have also been a heavy point of criticism. The letters are not educational, I can barely read them fast enough. It's simply another interesting element to capture your little one's attention. Cocomelon explains in every description, our goal is to help make learning
Yo, Slim, what's good, bro?
enjoyable experience for kids, giving you the peace of mind that your children are receiving quality education.
Hey,
content.
Maz,
But
copy
people
that.
argue
Copy what he
that they're
said right there.
teaching exactly what children shouldn't do. For
Add that
example, in
command.
the No Bedtime song, the baby refuses to brush his teeth, have a bath, put on pajamas, or get in bed. The education is that he eventually agrees to do so, yet a TikTok user was critical, stating, anytime I'd ask my son to do a simple task, he'd say no, no, no.
That's actually funny as shit though. It's time to brush your teeth. No, no, no. No, no, no. Yes, Papa. Ooh la la. No, Papa. That's the wrong shit, but I'm, cracking jokes.
He's sitting there watching Cocomelon, which taught him no, 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 and to say no to me. On the topic of education, Jerica Sands stated, these people don't give a shit about our children. They care about money. That's
Well, why y'all acting brand new? And I know you old as shit putting this on your Instagram story saying this, Miss Lady. I ain't gonna say old, excuse me, pardon me, but come on, yo, like, nigga. Hello? What the fuck?
it. Your child's cognitive development in direct exchange for their wealth, and there's pretty good evidence supporting this. A New York Times journalist visited Cocomelon's studio, discovering their #1 focus is keeping children hooked. Cocomelon's data and analytics team sifts constantly through YouTube numbers to determine exactly what resonates. Should a girl wear black jeans or blue jeans? Should the music be louder or softer? Should the bus be yellow or red? Yellow is the answer, as they use a darker method to ensure that they're correct. Cocomelon has a dedicated Distractatron room in which once a month children are brought here one at a time and shown a handful of episodes to figure out exactly which parts of the shows are engaging and which are tuned out. Next to the TV playing Cocomelon, there's a second screen
Just got
which
on. What up,
plays
Slim?
a continuous loop
What up,
of
G?
banal real-world scenes.
See what I'm
A guy
wearing?
pouring a cup of coffee.
See what I'm on,
someone
bro?
getting a haircut, each lasting about 20 seconds. Whenever a youngster looks away from the Moonbug Cyberspark show to glimpse the Distractotron, a note is jotted down. We can see what they're looking at and the exact moment when they got distracted. Therefore, education clearly isn't the primary goal. Keeping kids' attention is, and this is proven by Cocomelon's most addictive element, rapid camera cutting. It's crazy how many times the frame changes on Cocomelon. It's the same type of addicting behavior that we experience on a TikTok binge. It's the quick change of frame that releases that dopamine and makes the videos addicting to watch.
And that's why I do not do those, like, when editors ask me what type, don't do that. Just don't do that. Do not do that. That's it. That's all. Okay? Do not do that. And quick ass. I don't want them edits, bro, because that's going to attract a certain crowd that is... Now, yeah, for the moment, it's going to be, you know, but...
Count the seconds between a change of
bro,
frame.
Old Dog, stop.
Well, TikToker the
Stop,
Circus
bro.
Brain did exactly this. He firstly counts the changes on My Little Pony, concluding
get him
there's
to
about
change it.
6 seconds between each cut. He then compares it to Cocomelon.
1,
Like, tell
2,
him, bro.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
In her video, The Nightmare That Is Cocomelon, Savantix draws a similar conclusion. She found that 96% of the shots in Baby Shark were shorter than 2 seconds. She then compares 4 different animated shows, again finding Cocomelon has the shorter shots.
The longest shot on a Cocomelon video was 6 seconds. The longest shot on Arcane was 8 seconds. The longest shot on Bluey was 27 seconds. And the longest shot on Encanto was 18 seconds.
I don't know what the hell
Which,
Bluey
when
is.
combined with every other element, creates some terrifying statistics. Dr. Kristen Summer explained that when showing an infant normal video content, they'll focus on the screen just 11% of the time. However, when the video is instead switched to Cocomelon, their screen engagement skyrockets to a whopping 74%.
Oh my
This
God.
therefore produces stories such as this. I used to volunteer for a preschool and they had song time. A Cocomelon video came on and all of the tots stopped what they were doing, put down their cheese crackers,
Hypnotized.
and remained fixated on the screen for the duration
Hypnotized.
of the video.
Why do y'all think Boss Baby is so important and so prevalent? Bro, I've seen every single... Well, I ain't gonna say every single... Well, I have. But I've seen Boss Baby... Is it 5? God damn, I don't know. I've seen 4 and 5. Let's say it's 4 and 5. Or, I don't know. I've seen the last 2 in theaters, bro. That's what it's depicting.
It was honestly kind of terrifying.
Yep.
YouTuber Saberspark shared his own personal anecdote. He asked to watch a Disney movie with his 2 younger cousins, who both completely refused, and instead spent all day glued to an iPad playing the addictive
just
show.
change it.
In Cocomelon
Just
Made
tell
by
him, oh,
Hidden
dog,
Zombie,
they can change it.
a
I mean,
mother
what you want
talks
me to do?
about her son. He would be in a daze while watching it. You could be waving your hand right in front of his face, and he wouldn't move. It was almost scary. This was also discovered by Sarah Mills 98, who explained when the Cocomelon addiction is so
Oh
real.
my... Bro, this is literally a Boss Baby.
But by
Look.
Sarah Mills 98, who explained when the
Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. Hell no.
Cocomelon addiction is so real that my 1-year-old can navigate the TV to turn it on by himself. However, nothing shows the addiction better than the Cocomelon TikTok trend. Parents will play the show's intro loudly and video their kids sprinting toward the television, where you can witness their mood change instantly.
That's
The New York
sad.
Times journalist found something similar. The kid in the Distractotron had shown up in the midst of a tantrum, which ended the second he heard the Cocomelon theme song. It was no surprise to Wheeler, the head of research. 99
And then because parents, a lot of parents don't want to be parents and they don't want to be hands-on, what they do is they know that this is a trigger that is going to positively, in their eyes, affect their child, but it's actually defecting them, right? Like, they think it's effective for them to, you know, get them to stop crying, get them to change their moods, be happy, stop whining for right now, but 5-10 years down the line, 20 shit, sometimes even a lifetime, this child is a fucking grown-ass brat. grown ass sporadic brat. Like,
9% of kids, he said, if they're having issues when they get here, once that Cocomelon song comes on, they're like, life is okay, all is good with the world. Obviously, there's a reason for this. Cocomelon is so hyper-stimulating that it actually acts as a drug, and what happens when you take the drug away. Young children experiencing symptoms of addiction and withdrawal, obviously leaving them completely dysregulated. TikTok user ThePop1 filmed what happens when you take the show away, explaining he'll be inconsolable for at least 10 to 15 minutes after, adding in the description, Cocomelon meltdown is legit. Once you have a taste of the cocoa, it's hard to break the addiction.
And look at that, Coco. What's that short for? Hello? Y'all should have known that. Imagine having, instead of a cocaine rock, you have a cocaine melon. Hello? Wake up, people.
Which this Reddit user had experienced even worse. My husband and I have been worried about our child. I can slowly see how she'd throw violent tantrums at home and in church whenever she'd get bored and would want to watch the show. Her behavior changes the moment she watches the show, and she will not even eat her meals if she wouldn't watch it. After these tantrums end, kids can experience a general discomfort in the speed of everyday life. The more they watch the show, the more their brain begins to expect this intense level of stimulation.
Basically, Cocomelon overstimulates their brains so much that everything else just seems slow and boring in comparison.
However, the potential consequences get much worse than this. As mentioned at the start, it was the cause of a child's speaking problems, with a notable reply reading, "Something happened with my daughter too. She's 4 but can't speak properly. She knows the words, but she does not like to frame the sentence or speech. She has been watching these Cocomelons or such other stuffs for 2 or 3 years. Hope we're not too late." Over on Reddit, a speech-language pathologist explained, screen time in general is linked with speech delay for a variety of reasons.
Take time off of social media, unplug, get away, and get out. Get up and get out. If you had, and I've been there, if you have to delete all the apps because you are that connected to them, it's a really big problem. It's a really big problem. It's a humongous problem. It's a very vicious cycle, man. It's a vicious cycle. How does a rat get out of the wheel when the rat was unaware that they were in one in the first place? Exactly. Yo, guys. Hey. I'm wearing a fucking Frozone costume in September, bro. Let's just I just looked at myself again. I am wearing a full-on Frozone costume in my house in September. Wow. Life is great. Life is fucking great.
But Cocomelon is excessively bad. Firstly, unlike other TV shows or movies, it doesn't have a story. It's just very short clips with poorly written songs. The kids aren't able to follow the plot, learn vocabulary, and see the resolution of a conflict supported by infant specialist Meg 4.
In a rap song with a fucking throwaway rapper, what storyline is there? What new vocabulary words, bro? Playboy Farty and friends are just emitting the same vocabulary that niggas on Cocomelon do. Wake up, America.
Jimmy the Fam Radio. Bitch.
horror.
And the problem with fast-paced TV programs is that we find that little one's language development is slower.
On the Agents of Speech YouTube channel, this is again confirmed.
The main problem with watching videos on the internet is that they don't know how to use the language that they learn.
But he adds that 4 to 5 hours of screen time per day can make a toddler completely non-verbal. 4 to 5 hours is obviously a lot of time, but in Cocomelon Made My Kid a Zombie, researchers discovered
Wow.
that 5-year-olds who watch more than 2 hours of TV a day tended to have lower attention spans and were 7.7 times more likely to show symptoms of ADHD.
Look at
These
that.
screen times might be even lower for Coco.
Bro, basically 8% time, or excuse me, not 8%, 8 times more likely and more susceptible to ADHD. Wow, that bro, nigga, let's just take your fingers on one hand. 5 times 7, god damn. You know how much helping and carrying and savagery that can be done with 35 different fingers? That's 7 different hands.
Melon specifically, because as explained by Jerica Sands, not all screen time is created equal. A child who just
Not
watched
all
30 minutes
screen
of
time created
Cocomelon
equal.
and
What?
a child who just watched 30 minutes of Trash Truck will look like a very, very different child. Thankfully, here lies a simple solution. Sierra Renee explained my 2-year-old is speech delayed and addicted to Cocomelon. Switched to Miss Rachel 2 days ago, and he's already saying more words and hasn't had any tantrums.
Miss
Kim.It
Rachel.
shared an almost identical anecdote.
Does JB and the fam need to make another channel and start talking to little kids? Nah.
8-month-old was obsessed with Cocomelon and having bad tantrums, so I cancelled Cocomelon and only let her watch Miss Rachel, and she said her first word within the first 3 days of watching. Clearly, parents are able to simply change the channel, but not before leaving Cocomelon a massive amount of dislikes. They've therefore earned the title, The Absurdly Popular Kids Show Parents Hate, and Cocomelon has actually responded to the criticism that explain our shows are not intended to replace outdoor playtime or playdates.
Oh, stop it. That's like eating this hot ass Ghost Carolina chip and them saying this is only for adults. Most adults are not consuming this shit. It's kids, adolescent kids. The fuck?
Of a place in children's entertainment time,
That's
and as
just
with food,
a
exercise,
placeholder.
etc.,
That's just like-
it comes down to each parent to find the right and appropriate balance for their children. Our responsibility is ensuring that the quality of the content that we produce is high and beneficial for the development of a child's cognitive and soft skills. It is worth adding that our social media communities are filled with stories of parents who experience firsthand how Moonbug content helps their children. Cocomelon does have a crazy amount of supporters, but it's obvious that some of them are simply ignoring the downsides. My baby learned the alphabet and numbers from Cocomelon. She may not speak a complete sentence, but she expresses her wants through phrases.
Oh, hell no. Oh, what? Oh, hell no. You deserve this. You deserve this. Bow, 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 bow. That's that duty cheese. Hey. That's that stanky cheese, nigga. That's what you deserve. But you think that it couldn't have been prevented. Because you're a lazy ass parent. Lazy sack of shit ass parent. Watch who you have sex with, ladies and gentlemen. Watch who you mix your sexual energy with, ladies and gentlemen. Pathetic. She may be slow as a fucking tortoise with molasses on the back of her heels, but she's still gonna get there. She's still gonna express. The fuck out of here. And you caused it. How do you feel as a parent? How do you feel? In turn, how do you feel as a parent, huh? Because your child is mostly a offspring of your faults. So look at that. 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 Look at that.
is. But is it Cocomelon's responsibility to ensure that babies are talking? Well, no. People love blaming
Right? No.
cartoons and games for raising children, and not the shitty parents that don't step in to stop them from watching so much.
I can go on so many different lanes and alleys speaking on that right there. I'm gonna refrain. Y'all got enough game in this video with Cocomelon from Frozone. But I do have to say this. I do gotta say this. You know what? I'm not.
Cocomelon is actually a really sad symbol of parents giving their children tablets instead of actually parenting and interacting with them. Ultimately, parents are the people who choose how much their child consumes.
Yes. Sunny V with a great ass video, man. Sunny V with a great ass video, bro.